He is a winner, in my opinion, with 4 world titles, 5 world masters titles. The money doesn't come into it, Eric. He is a pure outright winner.
And the thing is with him is that everybody likes to hate him. You see, and he likes people to hate him when he's on the stage. And so, you know, so if you put him up there, everyone wants to beat him. So that's what's good for the game.
Of course he's big-headed. I'd say Eric is big-headed, and he has every right to be big-headed. Anyone would be big-headed if they were #1 in the world. And that's a reason to be big-headed, isn't
I think he's a great player. Yes, he's got to be the all-time great dart player.
Bristow is probably the most paranoid winner that any kind of working class sport has ever produced. Eric's going to be a winner in everything. It's not just darts, it's the neuroses. And I can't ever recall seeing anybody else in any other sport that has this kind of dedication.
Started playing darts when I was about 11, indoors with my dad. He tried me at lots of sports. We used to go pitching and putting down a little miniature 18-hole golf course, and then tennis and snooker, and then eventually he bought me a dartboard for, I think it was my 11th birthday. Stuck it up in the bedroom, put a wooden thing around it so I wouldn't burst the wall in, and I just took to it. By the time I was 13, 14, I was giving him 200 start thousand a month. And then I joined a local team, which my dad was captain of. Plus I was tall, so everybody said I was 18. That's why I was 18 for so long. 5 years I think I was 18.
Well, George was always home with Eric, so it meant that they could go to the pub at 11 till 4, come home and have something to eat, then they were back in the pub by 6 o'clock in the evening until they threw them out, which sometimes was quite late. That way I was the breadwinner, I was the one who was at work, and I used to come home to an empty house. They'd both have left the house at the time I got home from work. Either I was going to let my husband go out with him and play darts, or keep him at home. But I think Eric being so young, I felt a lot better in myself that he was with his father. I knew he'd be all right. When he got to 14, he got bored with school. He used to play truant quite a lot, and got in with the wrong crowd, so to speak. And one day he was in a telephone box, and they said that he was trying to get money out of the box, in the phone box, that he didn't want to pay for his call. And so we had to go to court for that. Well, he had a spanner and a few other things in his pocket, and they said they were house-breaking implements for his bike, would you believe it? So anyway, we got off with that because it was proved that the telephone box had been out of order for some time. So there was no way he could break into the box anyway. We went for a ride in a stolen car one day. They're the sort of things we all do, or most boys do anyway, and it isn't all in print, you know, so it wasn't any different from any others, only some of the others can run faster.
I think when you're younger, and where I used to live, it was like a gang of us. There was about 30, 40 of us, and you tend to, I'm not saying I was the innocent lad or anything like that, but you tend to follow people along. You want to be one of the lads, and if they all go out and nick a car, you ain't going to stand on the curb and let the rest of your pals drive off. So you tend to get in it, and when you're younger, it's exciting. You've got people chasing you and things like that. You haven't got the sense, have you, really, to define what's right and what's wrong. But yeah, we done lots of things wrong. But looking back on it now, I wouldn't do it again. But I think everybody's got to grow up, and if you can realise your mistakes when you get a bit older and don't do it anymore, then you've achieved something. Where maybe a few of my old friends are still doing the same thing now. would honestly say that darts has got me out of all the trouble with the police and everything else. If I wasn't a dart player, I don't know what I'd have done.
100.
Number 16, Charlie Eric from London. Number 3, plays Eric Bristow from London.
So we're going to have a London finalist, the first semi-final between the long and the short of it there. Charlie Alex on the left and Eric Bristow on the right.
When I first started playing the pub, I used to watch the indoor league, which was on TV. And I used to play against them in local leagues, because most of them was from London. And I used to play them maybe £50 a game and slaughter them. And I couldn't understand why they was playing on telly and I wasn't getting invited. But that's why I had to join the BDO, and eventually I got picked for England when I was 18, just turned 18. It sounds easy enough, but you're talking 5 years solid practicing and chasing tournaments, and eventually I was there. Plus I was born at the right time, because if I was born 20 years earlier, there was no money involved with darts. As I progressed, getting better, the money started to come into it, so I was very fortunate that way. It's a great feeling when you win a tournament. It's the sort of thing that money can't buy. You've won it. You've won that tournament that everybody else wanted to win. And maybe in the end, from my point of view, I'm just proving to myself that I'm still as good as I was a couple of years ago.
Stunningly, it is Bristow who leads this leg. Look at him go. Eric Bristow now looking at 2 8s. And there is Bristow where the chips were whipping down. Find the touch, find the doubles, find the form to take the World Masters for the 4th time. He's got 2 darts and 2 8s. Bristow. He is a champion, he has retained his title. Who can question that this man is off form? For the title for the 3rd successive year. Win the trophy outright here. Now 2 5s, that's a triple 20, and that's the shot! Oh! Unbelievable! 12 darts, the winning leg. The silverware is going back to Stoke-on-Trent. It's going to stay there, and it's got a clean job for life.
The real Eric Bristow isn't very different from the public Eric Bristow. And he doesn't mess around on the dartboard, he doesn't mess around at the sport, he goes in, kills. And it's the same with any relationship or he has or anything, however he feels about anybody. He'd tell them to their face if they thought they were an idiot. He'd tell them. May hurt, but it's better than fooling them or drawing them along a line that wasn't quite right. So the public Bristow really is the private Bristow.
Now, I used to strike a lot of them. I don't do it anymore now, to be quite honest, but I used to wind them up. Yeah, some of them can't take it. And it's not nasty, man. It's just practicing them on the dartboard and telling them they're not going to win and all that game. They're wasting their time. And a few of them couldn't handle it. They get a bit hot-headed. And I think they went up there thinking, I'll show in, and then they play worse. So it's good for me anyway. But now, all the dart players, I must say at the moment, get on very well.
First time I met Eric was in Hartlepool. He'd just been knocked out of the Cameron's Masters, and I mean that's back in 1978. I mean he was 20 then, and he was an arrogant, irresponsible genius. Now, the past 8 years have made him nothing more than an arrogant, irresponsible genius.
When I used to play in the Sussex Open, I think I won it 5 or 6 years on the trot, and you had to take the trophy back every year, and I used to take it back and put it on the thing and say, I would keep it there, I'll pick it up later, and I did, and that used to really get up people's noses.
So Lazarenko, for the second time of asking, wants double top. no 10s. And now again 5s. 35! Expression on his face.
A lot of people don't know me. If my friends around me who know me, they can see the funny side of it, and they give a monkeys anyway, but people who don't know, they can use that flesh out, so. And they couldn't handle it when I won it. You've got to be confident. Outwardly, you've got to be confident. Inwardly, you've got, most likely got the same nerves as anybody else, but as long as you don't show anybody else that, you'll be all right.
The public sees Eric as an extrovert, and they like him for that. Some people think he's arrogant. A lot of people have said to me that they think he's arrogant. But when you meet him, you get a different view of Eric altogether, you see. I always say those people who don't like Eric, they haven't met him. I always say if you meet Eric, then you'll like Eric.
I think the reason Eric plays at the top is a simple reason to win everything I've won and to do everything that I've done. And I think it keeps him actually on his toes, knowing he's got to do a 9-dart game, he's got to win the Europe Cup, he's got to win the MFI match play. There's 3 tournaments already in the world he's not won. He's not really the ultimate dart player yet, is he?
Eric, he's got a character of his own. He's one of those guys that you can't intimidate. He intimidates everyone else, but around him, he intimidates everybody. And I think that's what makes him the player he is.
Well, I wouldn't say that. I love playing Eric. I play a lot of challenges all over the country and against Eric, and I think he's a marvellous player, and I really get G'd up to play him, because you've got to, because he's such a great player. I think he's learned a lot. You know, I think he was a few years ago very arrogant, very big-headed. I think he's grown up a lot, and I think that's thanks to Maureen. Somebody who's really brought him along and made him realise that people are people. Yeah, and people can be very easily upset.
I like Maureen very much. We get on well together. She's a lot quieter than us, but she puts Eric first. I was surprised because she was older than Eric, and she has 3 children, and going to live up north, I was quite upset for a time, because I didn't know her then. But once I got to know her, and I know that she looks after him very well, I'm fine now.
The relationship with Maureen is important to me. Hopefully it's important to her as well.
That's all right. If I give you a pen, you can keep a change, yeah?
It's not like an ordinary marriage where I go to work, she goes to work, and then we come home and have dinner and maybe go out for an evening out or whatever. We're really in each other's pockets 24 hours a day. She understands me maybe more so than anybody else, because she can see, I suppose, the pressures I'm on before a big tournament more than anybody else. She knows maybe to leave me alone for a couple of days before a big tournament because I'm building up for it inside. You don't mean to be snappy, but I suppose it's inside. It's there, isn't it? You know, she was the same when she was playing darts, and that I kept away from her before the big tournaments.
Ryan, of course, long ranked the best in the world, and look at this scoring. 140!
It was terrible when we was both playing the same tournament at the same time. I'll stay at one end of the house and she stays at the other.
Eric's winning because he's so dedicated to it. Darts comes first, and then the pub comes next, and then the home comes third. It's not a thing that, you know, you go to work, you switch on and you switch off. He's darts all the time, you know, he thinks darts, we talk about darts all the time, and he'll sit and watch video for hours. He'll sit and watch videos that he's seen probably 3 or 4 times before. Even the ones he's lost, he'll sit and watch and try to find out why.
160! What a classic!
Any of you who missed the first half, we will welcome you once more back to the Crafty Cockney, best pub in Stoke-on-Trent. Eric's Boozer. Here's a little song especially for our old mate Eric. Where is he? I ain't seen him round tonight.
Staffordshire is completely different to London. It's more slow up here, there's no rush. London used to be all hustle bustle, and up here you can just relax and poodle along. And the people are great, you know. We've got this place, you get 300-400 people in here in a weekend, there's no hassle. It's nice because I don't have to sign autographs. I sign a couple of voters or whatever for people that come up here visiting, or someone's son down the road or whatever. But I can honestly say I'm coming here when there's, say, 350 people in that big room, and go in there and have a drink and not get no hassle from it, which I don't think I could do in the middle of London. I think you find with lots of sportsmen, when they open a place, they put their name to it, and then they expect people to come in, and then after a while, if the people don't see that person there, they don't come back. So when we're off, myself and Maureen, not for that reason alone, but we come up here because we enjoy it. We go behind the bar, I'll pour anybody a pint. Or I think with a few other top sportsmen, you wouldn't get them behind that bar because they think that they're too good to pour an ordinary working guy a pint of beer. And if you pass that stage, I suppose your business doesn't deserve to take off anyway, because if you're too good for people, you shouldn't own a business like this. I think snooker to me is a good form of relaxing, getting away from the pressures of darts. I can maybe smash a ball a bit harder, it's better than smashing somebody else, I suppose. But I can relax on a snooker table. I'm not brilliant at it, and we play in a local league and we won the league, but it depends how good that league is really. But I enjoy it, it's a bit of relaxation and we have a bit of fun, and we've got a nice group of lads in the snooker room, and more so, it's a fun night out. Since it's opened, I've averaged maybe 3 to 4 days a week here, which is a lot of time, and I enjoy it. I don't do it for a business way, because I come up here with my mates and I have a good drink and a good laugh, and it's my way of relaxing.
These darting giants have missed a ton in this leg, and it looks as though Eric Bristow has found his devastating peak at exactly the right moment.
There is lots of pressure, and some tournaments or a certain game can be a lot more pressure than anything. I played jockey down in Scotland, playing in front of 3,000 nutty jocks, and we're all drinking tins of beer, and there's myself, Maureen and Dick there, my manager Dick, so we had a good support, 3 of us, and it was crazy, the pressure was really on, and it was a real good game. And I played very well, and that meant a lot to me, that win was a good win. It was just an achievement to go up there in Scotland and play in front of all them crazy people, and I must say, when you wear an English shirt, you're the bad guy. You fall off a stage and break your leg and they give you a round of applause because they hate you when you've got an English shirt.
The crowd will try to deter him, but Bristow will not be deterred. 13 darts to win the World Cup singles crown. Bristow wins it. England are champions for the 3rd successive year.
I do most of my relaxing, as I said, in the club and snooker. When we go back to Vera's house, I take the dog out and we stroll around the fields and take him down the brook, and he's all right. Good thing about it is walking along with a Doberman is no one comes up for autographs anyway, so you can have a bit of peace. It's just nice to get out of the way for a little while and a bit of fresh air, and especially in the summer. There's a lot of money involved now. The dart circuit is getting bigger, and it's going to get bigger abroad. If I wanted to kill myself like I have done the last 4 or 5 years and do 7 nights a week, I could earn 300,000-400,000 a year, but all I want to do is do three nights a week exhibitions and concentrate on the tournaments. I don't want to chase it anymore. I don't want to end up owning Stoke and then dying when I'm 51, you know what I mean, through doing too much. I'd rather just have a nice club and a nice house and a nice car, and that'll do me.
Eric's earning power is unlimited. It's tethered by how much he wants to work. You see too often in sport and certainly in show business of a star who has just made it, believing that it's going to end tomorrow. So they work every hour that God made, and the manager makes them work every hour that God made, because he may believe also that it may end tomorrow. And you tend to see them burn out. I don't believe Eric will burn out tomorrow. I believe he'll be around for as long as he wants to win. And that could be 10, 15 years' time. I mean, you can hear all the other professional dart players saying, oh my God, he's going to be around for another 10, 15 years.
That's a good one.
They keep telling me he's going to be a millionaire and all this business, but really it doesn't mean a lot. It doesn't. When you've got someone who's famous in the family, you don't think of it that way. I don't think of him as a millionaire. He's my son. I just don't think of that part of it at all. And he doesn't go around saying I'm a millionaire. He's just working hard.
I'll just get him from here. I think you find you're going to get followers anyway who like a certain kind of person, and I want them to win all the time. I should say I've got more supporters now than I've ever had all over the world.
My name used to be Norman Leslie Pass, but 3 years ago I wanted to change my name to Eric Bristow because I think the world of the bloke. So I wrote to the fan club I was in 1981. This secretary wrote back to me at the fan club and says Eric's manager says Eric wouldn't like a double. So I wrote back and says, can I change my first name to Eric and have Eric's first name? And the fan club wrote back and said, yeah, that's all right, you can change it to Eric. So I was chuffed.
I think there's room for improvement in my game. I seem to be a bit of a slow starter. The longer the tournament goes on, the better I feel inside. Maybe that's why I play better. I don't seem to lose many finals. If I do get done, it's usually first round. But there's always room for improvement in your game. Defeat is a bad word. I used to be terrible when I lost. Not with the person I lost to, with myself, especially if I missed a double. It's heartbreaking. You may be playing a tournament all day with, say, 400 or 500 people there. You get to the last 8, and then you don't play as well as you can do, and somebody plays a bit better, and then you miss a double, and you go out. It is depressing. I just used to like to get away for 5 minutes and sit on my own, and I was alright. You know, I'd shake the guy's hand first of all, say best of luck, hope you win it. Wanted to rip his head off, but being very nice walking away. I think with my own game, I think if I practice right for each tournament, there's no reason why I shouldn't. I know it sounds big-headed as usual, but there's no reason why I shouldn't win every tournament, because I know that if I play my best game is better than anybody else's best game.
He's done everything any man could possibly do for any sport, and for the sport of darts, obviously, he's number one. We're number one for 5 years. He's made darts number one.
Yeah, I can do everything else for him, but I can't play darts for him. And he wouldn't want me to anyway. We made that bargain 8 years ago. I wouldn't teach him how to play darts, and he wouldn't teach me how to do the business. It's worked very well. Yeah, hopefully we're both winners in that respect.
I want to win as many tournaments as I can, as many times, and so eventually, maybe in 10, 15 years' time, when another good youngster comes through and starts winning tournaments, he's got to win the Embassy maybe 6 times and the Butlins 8 times, and I just want to set a record in the record books. Plus enjoy it. I enjoy it now. Maybe that's why I'm number one and the rest of them are not.
Bristow has been at his merciless best.
What a